Welcome to today's Explainer. We are unpacking a massive tectonic shift in the AI landscape today. We are literally watching the industry pivot away from raw intelligence and sprint straight toward infrastructure. It's a fundamental rewiring of how computing power, corporate budgets, and autonomous agents all intersect, and it is happening right now.
So if I asked you to name the absolute biggest AI news this month, what would you say? You'd probably guess a shiny new model release, right? Or maybe some massive breakthrough in reasoning. Well, the truth is actually buried in what looks like a routine corporate deployment update. But make no mistake, it is completely reshaping the power dynamics of the entire tech world.
Okay, let's get right into this bombshell. OpenAI's frontier models, yes, including the highly anticipated GPT 5.5, are now available natively on Amazon Web Services. Think about that for a second. AWS now hosts both Anthropic's Claude and OpenAI directly. And according to analysis from Build Fast with AI, this seemingly quiet enterprise update is actually the most underappreciated competitive development of the first half of 2026. It's shifting negotiating power right out of the hands of the AI labs and handing it over to the cloud providers. This single event exposes a massive macro trend. So, here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with how the AI cloud war shifts, then look at enterprise AI taking over, the edge compute continuum, the quest for infinite compute, and finally, guarding the AI frontier. Section 1. The AI cloud war shifts, from building brains to hosting them. Let's look at why the cloud is suddenly the most important battleground in tech right now. Just consider the sheer leverage AWS just gained here. By offering every major frontier AI model through the exact same console, AWS becomes the ultimate intermediary. They're now sitting pretty right between the AI labs and those massive Fortune 500 enterprise budgets. Buyers no longer need to juggle multiple separate API vendor relationships. They just route the whole shebang through their existing AWS setup, which centralizes billing and creates total price transparency. It's a brilliant play. Which brings us to a crucial point, commoditization. If GPT 5.5 and Claude are just sitting side by side on an AWS menu, like items at a drive-thru, those underlying models become increasingly interchangeable. Just like what happened to cloud infrastructure a decade ago, the real market value starts to accrue not to the individual products, but to the orchestration layer. The platform that holds the customer relationship is the one pulling the strings.
Moving to Section 2, Enterprise AI takes over, the 10x market for process automation. AI labs absolutely know this commoditization is happening, so they are pivoting hard toward enterprise automation. To really grasp the pressure these labs are feeling, just look at the recent model drops. I mean, we are experiencing an absolute avalanche of frontier models right now. In February, Google drops Gemini 3.1 Pro. Then in April, OpenAI answers with GPT 5.5. And literally the next day, DeepSeek releases V4 Pro. By June, Anthropic is rolling out Claude Fable 5. This rapid-fire cadence proves one thing. Raw AI power is rapidly becoming abundant. And more importantly, it's becoming incredibly cheap. So how do the labs respond? Well, they're building massive enterprise platforms. OpenAI launched Frontier and actually started a deployment consultancy, acquiring Tomorrow specifically for Fortune 500 integration. Meanwhile, Anthropic is over there deploying Claude directly into Goldman Sachs to automate accounting and compliance. Why? Because they are chasing the enterprise process automation market, which is roughly 10 times larger than just selling basic coding tools to developers. That's where the real money is. Section 3, the edge compute continuum, escaping the cloud bottleneck. Because as enterprise AI adoption skyrockets, we hit a massive physical roadblock. Here's the thing. Running everything in centralized cloud servers, it's becoming economically and thermally unsustainable. The server latency, the expensive token costs, the insane heat generated, it's a huge bottleneck, not to mention the privacy risks. That is exactly why the industry is aggressively routing workloads to local edge NPUs, neural processing units, right on your laptop or phone. By shifting to local edge AI, you're looking at instant processing speed, a 4x reduction in task costs, and a massive 60% drop in token usage. Plus, your sensitive data stays safely on your own device. This desperate push for local computing is driving some incredible innovations right now. Google's Gemma 412B can run entirely offline on a laptop with just 16 gigs of RAM. That's wild. And look at Perplexity. They've launched a hybrid agentic inference system that allows an agent to review highly sensitive financial documents locally on your machine. The private data never even touches the cloud. Apple Intelligence is doing something similar, keeping basic tasks on device and only routing the really complex queries out to the cloud. Section 4, Quest for Infinite Compute, the Hardware Imperative. Let's see how this builds into the ultimate bottleneck,
the absolute necessity of massive hardware for true agentic AI.
$60 billion. Let that sink in for a second. This staggering number is the reported acquisition price SpaceX is paying for Cursor. If you aren't familiar, Cursor is the fastest growing sauce coding product in history. They literally rocketed from $1 million to $2 billion in annual recurring revenue in just 2 years. So why on earth would Cursor agree to sell when they're growing that incredibly fast? Well, because Cursor isn't just cashing out, they're buying the keys to the kingdom. Specifically, SpaceX's Colossus supercluster. You see, to evolve from a simple API wrapper into the ultimate, fully autonomous AI agent, they require native, deeply integrated hardware scale. They need infinite compute. And getting access to a supercluster with 1 million H100 equivalent GPUs, yeah, that's exactly how you get there. This whole shift toward agentic inference is physically restructuring data centers as we speak. As Ben Bajarin from Creative Strategies points out, the old training era world looked like 1 CPU for every 4 GPUs. But agentic inference changes that math to roughly a 1-to-1 ratio. These new workloads, where AI autonomously reasons and takes multi-step actions, demand entirely new rack-scale architectures from companies like Intel. The physical hardware of the internet is literally morphing to support these autonomous agents. Section 5. Guarding the AI frontier. Cybersecurity in the agentic age. With all these interchangeable models acting as autonomous agents across our clouds and devices, we have to talk about the final piece of the puzzle, security and governance. And this is a pretty sobering reality. According to recent analysis from TLT LLP, frontier AI models now actually exceed what skilled human practitioners can achieve when executing cyber attacks at scale. They can operate faster, wider, and cheaper than human hackers ever could. So, to protect complex enterprise networks, our defense strategies have to fundamentally change. Firms have to use automation to triage and remediate vulnerabilities and closely monitor all third-party and open-source integrations. Upgrading legacy systems isn't optional anymore. Basically, you have to fight AI with AI, implementing automated defenses just to keep pace with the automated attacks. And it's absolutely crucial that there is board-level understanding of these escalating frontier risks. On the regulatory side, we're impartially observing a new executive order framework from the Trump administration designed to address this very issue. The framework outlines a few steps. First, determining if a system meets the Covered Frontier Model designation. If it does, developers have to provide the federal government with 30-day pre-release access. The goal here is to collaborate with trusted partners to strengthen critical infrastructure before these massive models are released into the wild. Meanwhile, the labs are already policing themselves, though it's getting a bit controversial. Take Anthropic's Claude Fable 5. It includes visible cybersecurity safety classifiers, which is great, but it also has these hidden safeguards that silently degrade its performance on AI research requests. This has definitely sparked some debate about whether these safeguards are genuinely just for cybersecurity, or if it's partly a strategy to protect their own competitive edge in the market. So, as we've explored today, from OpenAI setting up shop natively on AWS, all the way to this explosive shift toward the edge compute continuum, the immense value in this industry is rapidly moving toward infrastructure and deployment. So I want to leave you with this final question to ponder. If raw AI intelligence is now just a commodity, who will be the ultimate winner of the AI boom? Is it the labs that build the brains, or the infrastructure platforms that house them? I hope this explainer helped clarify exactly where this wild industry is heading next. Thanks for joining me.